Hi, good morning. My name's Alex Fonfay and I'm a neonatal registrar. Thank you for joining us today for our short tutorial, um, all about helping to try and take blood from babies from newborn feet. This has been um, developed by the Every Drop Counts QI group at Leeds Children's Hospital. So thank you very much for attending today. It will be about 10 minutes of a tutorial. So just to tell you a little bit about this project, it was inspired by two tiny 500-gram babies, and they were next to each other in incubators in long ICU. And they, bless them, they had really sore heels and they had lots of blood transfusions. So they each had 10 blood transfusions each in the first 6 weeks of life. And actually, some of this might have been iatrogenic. So newborn babies who are preterm often have something called anemia of immaturity, and that's basically because their bone marrow hasn't developed yet. So often babies are anemic in the newborn period who are preterm, but also actually it might have been caused a little bit by us because we were taking so many blood samples. And the reason we were doing so many blood samples is because 30% of these blood samples were reported by the lab as hemolyzed, insufficient, or clotted. So we had to do 30% extra blood tests than we would have done. Since starting this tutorial, so we've developed a film which is on YouTube. It's a 3 minutes song, and it helps you try and take blood from newborn feet. And since doing this, we've been able to reduce the number of hemolyzed, insufficient, or clotted samples by 2%. But hopefully, after you've watched this today, we can be even better than that. So next I'm going to go to the YouTube video. I'm going to play it in silent and just talk you through it, but feel free to watch it in your own time and you can play the music. It's been sung by Vic Tricklebank, our brilliant AMP at Leeds Children's Hospital, and Dan Roberts, who's a paediatric SHO. So aim of this is to reduce the number of hemolyzed, clotted, or insufficient samples and improve staff confidence in taking good quality samples. So this is cleaning the trolley. So this is our Hannah, who was a clinical educator, showing how you clean the trolley as it's a clean procedure, washing your hands. You see she's got her PPE on, so she's got her apron, washing hands, and then getting your equipment out. So using a lancet, and there are different color lancets that I'll talk about, using a ChloraPrep clean, using a tiny bit of Vaseline, and then collecting your blood bottles. So you can see here where to take the blood from. Yes means that's where you should take it from. You should take it on the side of the foot. And actually in this video, I think she's using a little bit too much Vaseline, so you should use even less than this. So on here, you can see that there are different colors of lancets and they're different colors for different weights, and that's really important. So doing the heel prick with a lancet on the side of the foot. And the next thing is really you wipe away the first bit of blood. So that's you. So you never use the first drop because that's got lots of clotting bits in it, and that will actually make it more likely to clot or hemolyze. And you put a tiny, tiny bit of Vaseline on, and then just gently giving the foot a massage or a squeeze, and then rotating the bottle for each blood drop you're taking. And that's because these blood bottles are aligned with special anticoagulation in them. So actually, if you do it in this way, they're less likely to clot. And then the next thing, lid on, and doing a really good shaking. So you can see how that blood's running freely, and that means it's a really good sample. And this is where it goes to the lab. So you've put your request on, put all your labels on, including your spare labels, and it goes to the lab and gets processed here. So thank you very much. And that was one of the clinical scientists, Ellie, who was in the film, and she's been really helpful at telling us the best way to take blood samples. And one of the things that she said is really using minimal Vaseline is really good, because otherwise it does clog up the machines and it's more likely to give you a rubbish sample. So other things are ensure the foot's warm, use the right lancet, tiny bit of Vaseline, never use the first drop, rotate the bottle, and always use spare labels. And the next thing is thinking about pain relief for our tiny babies. So sucrose, dummy, swaddle, comfort, parents can hold them or feed them, and that's really important. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial here. Let me just change the screen share back onto the PowerPoint. So just to recap then, so in the video it talked about different colour lancets, and the different colour lancets have got different sizes. So if you use a big blue one, it does a really big slit, which is great for a big term baby with big juicy heels, but really bad for a tiny baby with preemie heels. So if you can't remember which one you should use, if you just look at the back of the packet, it will tell you. But blue for big, pink for your small preemies above 1 kilo, and then for your tiny preemies less than 1 kilo, it's the yellow ones. And then, so this is just one of the posters we had, just to summarize. Start with a nice warm heel. Even just standing up by the bedside with your warm hand, once you've washed your hands in nice warm water, pop some gloves on your hands, and then just cup the baby's foot in your hand, and then your body warmth will help warm the baby's foot up, so that would be fine. Never use the first drop, and really give the sample a big old shake. So other things is how much blood is needed is often the question that's asked. So for most blood samples, if you fill it to just above the first line, that should be enough. Some of the blood samples, in particular thyroid function test and parathyroid function tests, are the ones that need 2 bottles. Most other things, 1 bottle is fine. It's a clean procedure. Obviously you're doing a small, tiny little laceration into a foot, and with our premature babies, we know how sensitive they are to infection and how vulnerable they are. So please make sure it's either a sterile or a clean procedure. And again, for our babies, what we don't want to do is putting plasters on or putting gauze with a knot on. So what we really recommend for comfort afterwards is just wrap gauze around the heel and use a posy wrap to hold it on. That's the best thing really for their feet. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you've learned something. If you've got any questions, please email me. My email address is alexandra.fonfe, that's Fonfe, @nhs.net. If you found this useful, please email me. If you didn't find it useful, if you've watched the tutorial and you're still getting clotted or hemolyzed blood samples, please send me an email and I'm more than happy to come and give you a hand and show you any techniques that I've learned whilst being a neonatal reg. I'd be really grateful if you could fill out the post-teaching questionnaire, so you can see the QR code there, which you can scan, or you can go to www.surveymonkey.co.uk/R/capital WK56. And if you go to the SurveyMonkey, there's a bit of a questionnaire and you can also give some feedback, and that'd be really, really helpful for us so we can see what else that we need to be doing to try and help babies have better better blood sampling so we can help them. Thank you very much.